Hold up the car, stop the traffic, get out the barricades. It's time for Mickey B's Jukebox Revue.
You're with Mickey B, and you're on the Jukebox Revue right here on Madhouse TV. Hello, everybody. What a night it's going to be today. You know why? We're going back to the street corners of course, that real doo-wop sound. Because tonight we're going to introduce a group here that comes from Brooklyn, New York. They got started way back there in the 50s, and they're called, of course, Charles Moffat's Velours, and the Velours are with us. And I want to introduce the guys right now. How about Julius Mason? Julius, how you doing?
How you doing?
Always a pleasure to see you, boy.
Huh?
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
When did you actually join the Velours?
Well, me and Tommy put back together like in '79.
Uh-huh.
But we had attempted to do a little something in the early '60s when I came home from the service.
Yeah.
But that didn't work. Doo-wop was, was kind of finished at that time. So we morphed into other things. Then we met back in the late '70s when Richard Naylor, Ronnie I, and them started putting on shows.
Mm-hmm.
And the first meeting we had was with Jerome Ramos, the original lead, Charles Moffat, the bass, John Pearson, the baritone. I was the oddball guy. Yeah, but what happened was John Pearson immediately said he wouldn't be able to keep the schedule, so he dropped out. But then we had Jerome Ramos, the original lead, and Charles Moffat, the bass, and me, and then I brought my brother in, Dennis Pendarvis, and Joe Shepard. But Jerome left us after about a year and a half. We did Don K. Reed shows and stuff like that with Jerome Ramos.
Right.
At that time, he was the original lead. But it was only when he left, on his own, no problem, that's when I took over the lead position, And after that, we made some recordings with the new group. Charles was still there.
Right.
Unfortunately, he got killed in '85. And, well, from that point on, I just kept the group going. But it was officially called Charles Moffat Velours. And that's when we recruited Mr. Rayfield as the new bass.
Mm-hmm. It was a pleasure to see you, Ray. How you doing today?
Doing okay, man.
Just
Good.
kept it rolling, Uh-huh. By that time, we had made records. They didn't say records anymore, but we made C'est La Vie and I Wish You Love and a bunch of other stuff with the new crew. Of course, Charlie was on some of the earlier ones we did. Me and Moray, a lot of stuff, but a lot of people haven't heard us. It was a good time.
We have a couple of pictures to show you over here. If we take a look at number one, take a look at this, see if it brings back some memories for the Velours. How about that one? Remember this? Watch this name, Onks Records, the Velours, My Love, Come Back. Remember that?
Oh yeah, but that was Jerome and then the first, original five guys. Of course, Charlie Moffat was there. John Cheatham was the first tenor. Him and I went to boys' high school in Brooklyn together. Before there was any Velours.
Yeah.
And Jerome Ramos was in the same high school. We were all there. I mean, I had affiliation with them before they knew it was going to be a Velour. But, so we go back.
Well, here's another thing. Take a look at this. See if you remember this one. Here's another great picture of something that maybe bring back some great memories. The Onks record label, I can't catch the name of what's on there on the monitor.
Well, that's when they made Can I Come Over Tonight.
That was Can I Come Over Tonight?
Yeah, they're the big hit by the Velours.
Uh-huh. And this picture over here, this shows probably the original group. Take a look at this. There we go.
There's Charlie Martin
Right.
on the left,
Uh-huh.
John Pearson, Donald Hayward, Jerome Ramos, and John Cheetham. You know, the vocalists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the keyboard man. I know him. I forgot his name.
Let me welcome Bill Witt, because Bill Witt, you have a great history in this music business. You started off in the Rocketones.
Yep.
And then went over to the Paragons. Today you sing with, of course, the Velours. It sound great. Tell me a little bit about the Rocketones background.
The Rocketones, well, we started out in junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
They consisted of Arthur Blackman, Ronald Johnson, what's his name? Oh my gosh. He'll kill me if I don't remember his name. Let's see, it was Arthur Blackman, Harold Chapman, Ronald Johnson, Alan Days, and myself. Then we got together. We were known as the Avalons at the time.
Right.
And we started doing a few shows, you know, talent shows and stuff like that. And we were winning everywhere we went, and people were you know, they admired us. So we decided to go over in the city and see if we can find somebody that would want to put us on records. So we went to Whole Records where Billy Dawn seen us, and he told us that we sound too much like the Heartbeats. And Shane Shepard and myself, we were very good friends. And so we finally wound up at room 1205 and 1655 Broadway, Marty Kraft.
Yep.
And he had Melba Records, and he told us, I guess you've been to all the other guys, so let me hear what you got. So we showed him what we had. We did Mexico. At the time, we were going to put the B-side as a song called Pretty Little Brown-Eyed Girl. But while we were in his office, we were fiddling around, and we made a record called D.I., which was the B-side.
Great song.
Yes. And I thought maybe that would be the B-side, the A-side, but he said that record was too much. It was before its time. So Marty Kraft had his own ideas for Mexico. And one day I was walking down the street, and I heard this bullfighting music. And
Don Rickles wasn't there, right?
Don Rickles was not there. And then I heard boom, boom, the beginning of Mexico. Okay, it was kind of startling. But when I heard the Rocketones had made it, I want to see Marty Kraft. Who are the Rocketones? So he explained it to me that the Rocketones was a name that he gave the group because it was it made the song even more exciting, and that's how we got together.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a little touring until say around 1958. The fellas went into the military, and that's when I was called back to the Paragons because their leader, Max Starr, he went to the Olympics. Uh-huh. So Paul Winley got me back on Winley Records, and that's how we began.
A little bit later, I'm going to ask you guys if you could do a little Paragon song for me here, because you talk about Street Corner Doo-Wop, you talk about the Paragons meet the Jesters, and the Winley record label. And you mentioned Billy Dawn Smith before. Billy's on here, writes over 700 songs.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, you talk about Al Brown, who he was partners with. And there wasn't a guy that Billy Dawn wasn't partners with or something.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's just an amazing guy, and that whole story, Al Brown, and everybody meets each other.
I just wouldn't sign the contract.
Yeah. And when you talk about Melba Records, you talk about Marty Kraft, you talk about a guy named Arthur Cryer who gets it.
Arthur Cryer,
Arthur Cryer's involved heavily over there. And doing the Halos songs.
Yes,
and
God bless him,
back,
wherever he is.
Pretty Little Angel Eyes in the background. What a great guy, real gentleman.
Yes, he was.
And a great guy.
Yes,
Let's talk to Don Raphael.
Yes.
Don Raphael, tell me a little bit about it. I got that fancy hat on. You didn't bring one for Mickey B, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all right.
So I wear that, they're going to think I'm you. But anyway.
One does what one can, yes.
Give me a little background on Don Raphael. How'd you get started in this music business?
Oh, I'm from Connecticut. I'm from the New York area.
Uh-huh.
And I was singing with a group called the Five Flames. I don't like to mention that in this particular company because everyone's so jealous of us. We were so good. We got so far. We got as far as Norwalk, Connecticut. But the idea is that how I hooked up with the Velours was it was interesting because I was there the night before Charlie Charlie was killed. And so the next about 2 or 3 days later, they're talking about who's going to fill in for him. And so a bunch of people tried out. And what I did is I went home and I studied his bass line, and I wrote it out phonetically. I wrote you know, just everything he did. And so when I came to the audition, I scored a little bit higher than everybody else. What was really important was that his daughter said, "I like that guy," and so you know, so I got the gig. And I've been singing with the Velours for 20-something years now, and it accounts for really the fact that
27.
27.
Yeah, except for the times when you cut out.
Yeah, well, right. But
you came back.
But the only problem I have with it now is that if they you know, if what's supposed to go down goes down in terms of the cliff and the monetary crisis, I'm going to be taxed really heavily because I've made so much money. And all the time
You
I've been
also
singing with the
sang,
Velours.
of course, with the renditions, right? The
Yes,
renditions
I also
of today?
sing with
With Sammy?
Yeah,
Sammy
yeah,
Cantos and the guys?
Sammy Cantos, that's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And another
Frankie
group-
D, who's our co-host, but unfortunately he can't be with us tonight, was part of that rendition who got that group started. And the group is fantastic.
and another group called Street Corner Symphony.
And Street Corner Symphony as well.
Yeah.
Before I talk to Ray Saunders, I want to talk a little bit about what had happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
You know? We lost one of the innovators of rock and roll music, Earl Speedo Carroll, who you guys all know so well. A real gentleman in this business that no matter when you met him, he always had a smile on his face.
That's right.
Was always courteous to take pictures, sign autographs, and he was just such a talented guy that started with a group called the Carnations, and then, of course, into the Cadillacs, and started that whole choreography on stage.
Right.
And they talk about the coasters, you always talked about the Cadillacs, because Cadillacs not only were great funds of comedy, but they were great singers.
Right.
They could do the ballads like nobody else could do, and they could do those up-tempo rockers like nobody else could do, too. So they had a tremendous thing. We're going to look at a tape right now. Everybody knows, of course, Speedo. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. Watch this one, and a photo gallery on Speedo Earl Carroll, and, of course, something called Mr. Lucky.
Well, now they call me Mr. Lucky. They can't believe I'm still alive. Well, now they call me Mr. Lucky. They can't believe I'm still alive. But I ain't only lucky, honey. Only the strong survive. When now they call me Mr. Lucky, I still got that fire inside. When now they call me Mr. Lucky, I still got that fire inside. Well, they can take away my money, but they can't take away my pride. No. Well, it's been a long, long time. Anyone can see I'm just gonna rock and roll till they bury me. They call me Mr. Lucky. I still got a ways to go. Well, just call on Mr. Lucky if you want a man to stop the show. Yeah. Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky. Well, it's been a long, long time. Anyone can see I'm just gonna rock and roll till they bury me. They call me Mr. Lucky. I still got a ways to go. Yeah. Well, just call on Mr. Lucky if you want a man to stop the show. Yeah. Don't you know? Yeah. Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, 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 Lucky. Oh, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, 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 Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, call on Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, yeah, call on Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Lucky,
Come on, Mr. Lucky. I'm lucky. Mr. Lucky. Cause I got one of those right next to me. I'm lucky. Mr. Lucky. Cause I got come on, Mr. Lucky. I'm lucky. Mr. Lucky. Come on, Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky. Come on, Mr. Lucky. That's what we call showbiz, impromptu. How do you like that?
Oh, showbiz.
How'd you like that song by Speedo? Was that something?
Great.
Now, here's a song that's recorded in the year after 2000. Of course, it sounded just like it did in 1956.
Right.
A real gentleman of a guy. We're going to miss you, Mr. Speedo, but we're going to play you on the Mickey P. Jukebox Revue on radio and play you, do the segments right here on this show right now. But here's what I want to do before we get to, of course, to Ray Saunders and Warren Tesoro. You mentioned the Paragons before, and I always loved the Paragon songs, and of course the Jesters songs, and there was a certain thing about that group, you know. They were really, there were so many great groups that came out of Harlem, New York, and Brooklyn, New York, but that was really the sound of the streets, you know.
Street corner harmony.
That street corner harmony. I mean, the 5 discs had that kind of sound. Bedford Style, you know, they were street corner.
Very good friend.
Then things changed a little bit. You know, you got into the Tokens, you got into the classic, you got into Lenny Coconut Chimes and that kind of stuff. But the street corner music was this music that we're going to hear. Tell me a little bit about the Paragons now. How did that whole thing come about there?
Well, Paragons is a group that, like you said, street corner harmony. We used to, actually what we used to do, we were in the schoolroom, we go into the bathroom, and we harmonize with each other. Al Brown, God bless the dead, and Ricky Jackson, we went to Brooklyn High School Automotive Trades then. And we used to get together in the bathroom. It was a guy named James Brown. He sang with a group called the Hurricanes. And we got together, and there was another guy named Mike from the Neons. He was the bass of the Neons. Yeah, and we used to get in the bathroom and just, you know, fiddle around. So I knew Ben Frazier for a long time, and we used to sit on the corner on the step and talk about different things. And I had the Avalon group, and he wanted to start a group. So he came to me one day and said, "Billy, let's get together and put together a group." I said, "I don't care, you know." So he said, "Well, what would we name the group?" I told him, "I don't know." So all of a sudden, I happened to look over and I seen an oil truck.
So that's where they got the name.
Putting gas, oil in the ground. And I said, "That's a good name for it, Paragons. Paragons Oil."
And that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
I know what that is.
I'll tell you what, let's do a little street corner harmony, okay? This we call the Mickey B living room here. It's not really the street corner, but we got some trees in the background. We're probably on the street corner where it wasn't even a tree at the time. We had like maybe a lamppost out there, right? A lamppost, we were singing on it. And let's see if we can pull it off. You all set to do a little bit of Florence?
I hope so.
Okay, Bill Witt, of course, I'm lead on this one, right?
I'm used to a symphony orchestra now.
You started. Louis Mason, you started on the street corner. You don't even want to mention the year, right?
I hope I can help you guys out.
If you mention the year, it may be below Fahrenheit. You know?
It was just after water was invented. You know what I mean?
Let's hope I can get through this because, you know, back in the days I had that tone of voice, but
I know you got that tone of voice. I hear when you talk.
And I had my lamppost on Macon Street.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lamppost.
I owned a
We used to
lamp.
have fire.
I'll tell you what we do.
Fire.
Name the street corner. If you were singing on the street corner, Florence, what would be the street that was on?
We'll be on Hopkinson Avenue and Prospect Place in Brooklyn.
Let's do it right now. Here they are, of course, Bill Witt with the Velours.
Ooh, Florence.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bong, bong, bong. Ooh, bong, bong, bong. Ooh, bong, bong.
Fabulous street corner harmony, of course. But we're going to
I owe you one bomb.
There you go.
He missed the bomb, man.
Absolutely marvelous. What we're going to do is take a commercial break. When we come back, we got more from the Velours. We got more on the history of them and more about some of the other people that we recognize as great legends that have just recently passed on. We're going to talk about them when we return right here on the Mickey B. Jukebox Review on Madhouse TV. Don't go away.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hogshair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
back here in the Mickey B Jukebox Review on Madhouse TV with the fabulous Charles Moffat's Velours. And let me introduce the guys once again. Of course, Bill Witt is here, Euless Mason, Don Raphael, Ray Sanders. Sanders.
Yeah.
And we have Warren Tesoro here, filling in tonight for,
Hey.
of course,
Dennis Fernandez.
for Dennis, right?
For Dennis.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something there, Warren Tesoro, where you're the filling in here. Where are you? There you are. You've been around a while doing this kind of music, and you also worked in a music store
All my life.
all your life. Tell us a little bit about it. Just closed up also.
Just closed up one of the greatest music stores in the world. But I worked in record stores all my life ever since I'm like
Yeah, what was
15.
the name of the record store?
The Colony Music, Colony Records, was there since 1948.
1940.
When they first opened, there was just 78s. They hadn't invented the 45. I don't think the LP was invented yet either. And it's one of the first stores, and one of the last stores to close also. We saw them all go, Tower, Virgin, HMV. Burdell's gone, the great Burdell's record shop. All the neighborhood record stores have gone, You talked about that on an earlier show.
Early show a couple of
The
weeks
Colony
back.
was one of the first and one of the most knowledgeable stores, and I just loved being up there answering questions. People would call up and say, "You got this record by the," I would sing it to them on the phone. What's more fun than that?
That's right.
Don't have me come down there and you ain't got my record.
Was Colony Record, Warren, was Colony Record Shop a type of store like the other local stores where guys would come in there on Saturdays and do some singing, some doo-wop, or was it a different kind of market?
It was a different kind of market. It was catered to the Broadway. It became a Broadway store because it was on Broadway. Yeah. But they had one of every record that was ever released. So they would never lose a call. And we had to know what they were, and we got a chance to hear them too. So I learned so much. I thought I knew everything, but working there I learned even more.
Now, how did your career in the music business start? I mean, you're a guy that fills it. I know you work with every group that's out there. So you just came back from the Mall Shop Memories cruise.
I just
you
came
were
back
on with
from-
the
right.
Accords, and today you're with the Velours, and another time with somebody else. How does that happen, Warren?
I get called a lot, and I'm thank you, Lord. People call me when they need somebody. They need somebody to fill. Sometimes somebody gets sick, or somebody can't make. Or there's a fight. That happens a lot in the group. There's a disagreement over the money or something, and then they'll call me, and I'll fill in until things get well again. I'm kind of like a doctor.
But it's tough to do that because your voice is what, a second tenor, first
I'm a second tenor, but I'll do the first tenors,
Yeah.
And
you can do the baritone
and the
parts as
baritone and the
well?
lead. I'll fill in whatever they need me. Whatever. I'm just so glad to be a part of it.
And that's a tough job because how do you know every song that's out there?
Well, working in record stores all my life helped, and I was a record collector back in the days. I listened to the Times Square show with Slim and the Night Train show with Alan Fredericks and the Jocko show, and I remember Alan Freed being on the air, and Dr. Jive, and I always had my radio with me,
He's kind of like he's sort of a doo-wop Band-Aid.
I'm like,
he fits right in the blend over there.
Like, without the iodine.
Without the iodine.
And don't forget, he filled in for Willie and the Winos, too.
Oh, that was my favorite
gig.
So it's every group that there
I did
is.
that gig.
What a group.
I did that gig, yeah.
Did that gig too. You did it too.
Standing
He
around
did it
that
too.
garbage can.
Now, Ray Saunders, you came from my area. You came from Queens, New York, right? Tell me a little bit about your background in this business.
Well, it was, I sung with this group called the Exploits. But before I got with the Exploits, I went to a party with me and Clinton Dandy. Me and him were singing together in church. So we went to this party and we met Robert, Richard, and George. They was there too. So we started singing. You know how you get in the party and you started singing with the songs and singing around. The guy said, "Oh, shut, you guys sound pretty good. Let's go outside." So we went outside and started harmonizing together. We came back in and turned the party out, just like that. Came back in and turned it out. So then we started singing together. And we went down and made this demonstration record. And then we went to 1650 Broadway.
That's everybody was
Yeah,
there.
went to 1650 Broadway.
Right.
And we was trying to find somebody to introduce the record to. And this guy came out. He said, "You guys are a group?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, right now we're trying to find the bathroom." He said, oh, you said, yeah, here, take my key, go over here and go to the bathroom. He said, when you finish, come up to the 4th floor and look for Chris Towns. He said, I'm Chris Towns. He said, you come up to the 4th floor. Okay. So we came up to the 4th floor after we finished. Chris liked the song. It was Stay With Me, was the song. On the other side, he put his song on called Laughing At Me.
And the name of the group?
Exploits.
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 And what label was that on?
That was on Chris Towns' label.
Okay.
It was on his label.
You
know, and he put it out in a week's time. We was gone, man. We was just traveling and back and forth, but it didn't last but so long because Chris, his wife told us, she said, you got to watch Chris. She said, Chris is very sneaky.
He might exploit you?
Yeah, he was taking the money. That's what he was doing. So when the royalties was for time for the royalties to come in, Chris disappeared. You see, so
now you also sang with Eddie and Eddie
Starlights. Yeah,
I love it. Make a long story short, right? And
how
long were you with them?
Well, I've been with them for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been with them.
Well, we gotta get you guys on here.
Yeah, and at first. And you remember a song called Romeo and Juliet? I was the first tenor on that song by the Reflections.
Right.
But they couldn't do it that way because at that time there wasn't no integration in the group. So when I sang with them, well, every time we went to a show, we would do shows down in Alabama or Mississippi or something, they had to put that chicken wire across the stage.
The Blues Brothers?
They were throwing. That's where the Blues Brothers got it from. They was throwing all kinds of bottles and stuff. You know, that's what they were doing. You know, so that's why that didn't last.
Okay.
You know, then I wind up singing with the Persuasions. Acapella.
Great group. One of the
I've
best
been with them.
groups ever.
Yeah, I've been with them now.
Simply Magic.
And Simply Magic was Eddie Starlights. That's Eddie and Starlights.
Yeah.
And Simply Magic, yeah.
Julius Mason, tell me a little bit about Can I Come Over Tonight?
Well, I didn't do that originally. That
Right.
was Jerome Ramos.
Right.
I wasn't in the group at that time.
I know. But you do it, of course, on the stage.
Well, that's what Velours are known for.
And it's always a tremendous
we
song.
We can't do a show without doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the top tune of all time for the Velours.
With the Velours.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to do right now is go on the stage, and I believe that we're going to catch the Velours in action right on the stage right now. If you take a look, here's Can I Come Over Tonight? Watch this one.
Can I come over tonight? Darling, let me come over tonight. Please don't say it's too late. Oh, darling, I can't wait to see you again. Oh, please let me kiss you tonight. Darling, let me kiss you tonight. Am I asking too much? Oh, darling, yes, you just drive me insane. Oh, yeah. Over tonight, darling, let me come over tonight. Like you, I love in my heart, and pray we never part for
Thank you. Thank you.
Muppets, Velours. Yeah, the pride of
Thank you.
Brooklyn.
Back right here with Mickey B on the Jukebox Review. And, of course, Bobby J, our dear friend over there, taking you guys off of the stage. Where was that? Symphony Space, was it?
Yeah.
And Bill Witt doing the bass over there. And Ray Saunders is on the stage there. And Euless, your voice sounded fantastic on there.
Oh, thank you.
Sounded absolutely marvelous. You know what we're going to do?
Still had it.
You still could do it. I know you can do these songs. We'll do a couple of songs as we enter my brick wall in a matter of minutes. So when we come back, we got the Velours live right here on Mickey B's Jukebox Review on Madhouse TV. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Vinny, owner of VMD Electric. Family owned and operated since 1996, serving all of Nassau and Suffolk County. You can call us anytime, night or day, at 631-669-6915 for all your residential and commercial needs. Here are some photos of our current projects.
Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Nobob Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. Suffolk County Gold Refinery for the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Visit their showroom for unbelievable prices on fine jewelry and engagement rings. 71 Nobob Boulevard, Farmingdale, 631-777-CASH. For the highest paid prices for your gold, diamonds, and jewelry with cash on the spot. Suffolk County Gold Refinery, 631-777-CASH.
What is Grand Prix Motorsports? It's a full-service motorsport performance and service shop. It's West Coast custom style, East Coast pricing, old-school customer service, custom-built bikes, all-out performance upgrades, and free towing too. Grand Prix Motorsports is automobile, motorcycle, jet ski, and ATV, performance, service, and repair. It's online at GrandPrixMS.com. Grand Prix Motorsports, Long Island Avenue, Deer Park.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hogshair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
B&M Performance Cycles, 439 South Main Street, Messina, New York. We handle all parts, accessories, and do all repairs. We can custom build your bike for show or hot rod. We also do New York State inspections on all motorcycles. B&M Performance Cycles. Come see us today.
We're back here on the Mickey B. Jukebox Review of Madhouse TV, and I'm here with my dear friend Paul. Paul,
Good to be here. How you doing, Mickey? Yep.
Let me tell you something. You talk about the Velours, and you're a guy and a historian about knowing all this. Not only do you book acts with Canterbury, you help me on the Mickey B. Jukebox Review, and you book a lot of groups around the country.
Yes.
Tell me about the Velours themselves and the guys that we have here tonight. What a bunch
well,
of
the
great guys,
Velours, one of my favorite groups. You know, like, can I come over tonight? Can I walk you home? Hands across the table. They've been around since 1956. And, of course, we have Mr. Euless Mason, Mr. Bullitt from the Paragons and the Rocketones. Warren Tussauds from every group you can ever imagine. Yeah. Ray Saunders from almost as many groups as Warren was with. And, of course, Mr. Don Rayfield over there.
And they do a great job.
They're tremendous. They're absolutely tremendous.
You know what we're going to do right now? There's
What's
a great
that?
song that, of course, they recorded, Can
I Walk You Home,
right?
Yep.
How about we listen to, of course, the guys right now.
Live.
With the Velours. Can I Walk You Home? Right here on the Mickey B. Jukebox Review. Hey, guys. Take
ready?
Here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
If I could only walk you home, so you won't have to walk home all alone. Please say you let me walk you home. When I first saw you at the dance, your eyes were mine, and at a glance I knew at last if I could walk you home.
We danced tonight, cheek to cheek.
Oh, you promised a love that is true.
Your lips met mine, I grew weak.
Oh, and I fell in love with you. Promise to always have a love you never, never, never own. If I not ask, if I could walk you home.
We danced tonight, cheek to cheek.
Whoa, you promised a love that is true.
Your lips met mine, I grew weak.
Whoa, and I fell in love with you. walk you walk you home, baby.
Oh, yes, right here with Mickey P.
And then I asked
you home. And of course, I love that sound, man. That is absolutely fantastic. Of course, we're here with the fabulous Velours and having a great time tonight. You know what songs I love? I mean, there's an Orioles song, and I know you guys do it. Too Soon to Know, right?
Yeah.
And you guys could do that for me, right? I believe you could do it for me, right, Julius? You like that song, don't you?
The Orioles, I grew up loving them guys.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
That's what made me think that maybe I wanted to do that.
Sonny Till was your best friend, right?
Sonny Till.
Yeah. He was a great friend to everybody. I mean,
That's right.
great harmony right there, right?
The guitar player,
Uh-huh.
Ralph Williams,
Yeah.
and his son and I went to grade school together.
Mm-hmm.
And once we were little kids, we would be in backstage at the Apollo when the Orioles were there. And I really, that really did it for me. I see all them women screaming and stuff. I said,
Yeah.
I got to do that.
Well, we got a couple of screaming women right here. If they can scream now. Hey, ladies, can you do a little screaming for a second? Give me a little scream, bro. Now you're all set. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the Velours.
Oh, man. But Sonny Till had a band, though. But, okay, that's okay. Don, could you key me in, bro? She ain't no saint.
Okay, yeah, I have one line in the thing and I couldn't remember. Can you believe that?
Does she love me? Let's start that again. Come on, man. This is Street Corner.
Okay.
It's too soon to know. Okay. Oh, that's an Oreo song. Does she love me? It's too soon to know. Can I believe her when she tells me so? Is she fooling? Is it all just a game? Am I the fire or just another flame of one-sided love would break my heart? She may be just acting or playing a part. If she don't love me, let her tell me so. I can help her when it's time to go. Though I'm proud when she's gone, I won't die. It's too soon, way too soon to know. Don, does she love me?
Man, it's too soon.
It's too soon to know. Can I believe her?
Well, you know her mouth ain't no prayer book.
Though I cry when she's gone, I won't die alone. Is it so? It's too soon, way too soon. To know.
Right here.
Fantastic.
Is that fantastic?
Wasn't that incredible,
Back
man?
to the street corners of New York. And, of course, these guys got started way back there in about 1956. Hey, guys, just calm down over there, please. We're on the air over here. You know, we're still live. Okay.
Now, let's look at a song the Velours recorded in the 80s that has become one of their signature songs now, which is a beautiful version of C'est La Vie.
Let's go right on the stage.
The gentleman said 1985. Clifton Records. And the song, C'est La Vie.
John's in love with John. John's in love with Jim. Jim's in love with someone who's not in love with him. What was meant to be must be. Ooh, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Life's a funny thing when it comes to love. You don't always conquer the one you're dreaming of. As they say in old Patty, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Those who fall in love agree. Ooh, it's the unsolved mystery. If your big romance cannot be, you'll find someone new. Sadly, there goes Lucky John. There goes Lucky John. What a happy guy. He has found a sweetheart, and no one gonna cry. Though he stole her love from me. Ooh, c'est la vie, c'est la vie.
Well, now, those who fall in love will agree. But now, it's the unsolved mystery. But now, if your sweet romance cannot be, how you find a new love, my Cherie?
What a happy guy. He has found a sweetheart, and no one gonna cry. Though he stole her love from me. Ooh, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Say la c'est la vie, c'est la vie. C'est la vie, darling. I love you. I really do. And thank you. C'est la vie. Thank you.
Right here on the Mickey B Jukebox Review, C'est La Vie. Paul Laurenti, what do you think about that song? Is that great?
Great song, great arrangements.
Yeah, and the guys are on stage like they're over here and they're singing the streaker, but a bunch of nice guys. Mention the guys again.
Bill Witt, Ulysses Mason, Warren Tesoro, Ray Sanders, and Don Raphael.
Now, of course, before Bill Witt told us that he got started with a group called the Rocketones.
On Melba Records.
What year was it?
1956. Let's go back to Mexico.
Right now, here they are, the Velours.
1, 2, boom, 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 boom. Bum, bum, do 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 bum, bum, do 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 bum, bum, do do. Oh,
well, I'm going back to Mexico, where nobody knows that is my hometown. I'm tired of this New York life. Want to fetch me a wife way down in Old Mexico. I need someone to cook my food, make my bed. I need someone to clean my shoes, to comb my head. I need someone to cook my food, to make my bed. I need someone to clean my shoes and comb my. Well, I'm going back to Mexico, where nobody knows that is my hometown. One more time now.
Our time goes by when you're having so much fun. See, Bill Witt, you thought that you didn't have that voice anymore. You're a superstar. You know that, right? Superstar of rock and roll, huh?
Thank you.
Listen, I want to thank, of course, the Velours for coming down here today, Bill Witt and Ulysses Mason and all the great guys here, and Warren Tesoro, Raphael, and who else are we missing here? Ray Saunders, you just said, and we got, of course, Paul Aranti for stopping by. Hey, Paul, next week we got some nice people coming by.
Yes, we got Brenda Reed and Lily Walker from the original Exciters next week.
Oh, wow.
2 weeks from now, we got John Coos and the Excellence are coming by, and more great people in the history of rock and roll. And so from Mickey B, Paul Aranti, and of course, say it, guys, the
Velours. Charles Muppets.
God bless all of you until the next time. So long, everybody. How about give me a little bit more of Tulip City? Ready? Here we go. Tulip City, Tulip City, Tulip City.